Have you ever been sitting on your couch scrolling through your phone and thought, I wish I could make money doing this? Believe it or not, there are people getting paid just for sharing their opinions online. No experience, no skills, and no upfront cost. And when I first started looking for ways to make money online, I was overwhelmed. Dropshipping felt complicated, and freelancing skills required are something that I did not have yet. But online surveys, that was something that I could start today. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how online surveys actually work, how much you can realistically earn from them, and how to avoid scams so you don't waste your time. Make sure you watch till the end, because I'll also be sharing some of the best platforms that I personally use and recommend. So if you don't know, my name is Chris Holdheide with Side Hustle Academy, and today we're going to be talking about how to make money with online surveys and basically going through all the details of how to get started with this, the platforms and everything as well. But first, a quick heads up, I will be mentioning a lot of resources in this video, so there'll be links below in the comments, so make sure are in the actual description of this video, so make sure you go there and actually click on and check those links out as well at the end of the video. Also, I just want to throw out a quick income disclaimer. My results are not typical. Your results will vary depending on many factors, so just know that going into this. All right, let's get started. Number one, what are online surveys and why are companies paying for them? Companies pay for consumer opinions to improve products, ads, services. You're essentially getting paid for your feedback, because these companies, they want to know how you shop. This could be large companies who want to know where their customers shop, to political campaigns and how someone would vote on a particular issue. And I've done all these different types of surveys. So they do ask for a lot of those different types of questions. And I was skeptical at first. I thought this was one of those too good to be true things. But once I realized companies spend millions on market research, it finally made sense to me why this is something that they would want to pay you for, because honestly, why would someone want to pay you for a survey? But if they want to know the information about how you shop, this is basically gold to those companies. So just basically to show you how this works is these survey companies will create the surveys right here. And they'll send them out to respondents, they answer them, and then they go back into the cloud, and then they analyze those surveys, they're collected, and then decisions are made on those surveys. So that's basically the process. People are using those surveys to base product information on how to market their products, how to sell their products, and just gives them a better insight on understanding their audience as a business. So what are the pros to making money with online surveys? Number one, it's very low barrier to entry. It's free to join, no special skills, and anyone with the internet can access them and start this immediately right now if you really want to. Number two, flexible and convenient. You can do surveys anytime, anywhere. I've done them sitting in a doctor's office, no problem. Standing in line, when I'm sitting there at night, scrolling through my phone, instead of doing that, I could at night watching TV, I could just do some surveys. There's no fixed schedule. You don't have no particular time that you have to do it. You can do it any time you want, and it works well for people who are spare time, who are commuting, evenings, all that kind of stuff like I just said. Number three, beginner friendly, side income, good instructions and to earning online. So it's pretty predictive what you got to do there. You don't have to do anything like really crazy to get started with this. It's simple tasks, multiple choice, opinions, product feedback, and there's no upfront investment. That's probably the biggest thing. You don't have to put any money into this to get started. You don't have to do all that stuff. Number four, it's safe and legit. And when people are when using reputable sites, there are some scammers out there. I'll talk about that a little bit more here in this video, but basically, well-known platforms pay reliably. The ones I go to pay almost instantly. There's no selling, there's no customer service, no inventory. You don't have to deal with all that crazy stuff. So, number five, you can stack multiple platforms. I use at least 3 different platforms, maybe 4 or 5 sometimes. You can use several survey sites, apps all at once, increase your earnings and opportunities. And I'll show that here in just a second. But easy to scale, time spent. It's So you're going to make some money. You're going to make some money just answering questions. Pretty simple and easy. So what are some of the cons here to doing this? Number one, very low pay. It's not going to pay $20 an hour. Just letting you know that up front. We'll talk a little bit more about that here coming up in the next section. But typical surveys pay between $1 and $5 an hour. It's not suitable. It's not a sustainable income source. So if you're thinking about being full-time with this, it's definitely not going to be able to do that. And then effort to reward ratio is pretty poor. But, just know that going in, it's spare time. Number two, disqualifications are common. You may get screened out after starting. So you won't qualify for every single survey you do. So there will be some time wasted without pay. And it can get a little frustrating because you'll see like a survey that might pay, say, $5 and you just don't qualify for it. And that could be frustrating, but there's so many surveys out there. It's not really a big deal, but just knowing that. Number three, income is inconsistent. Surveys aren't always reliable or available. Earnings may vary by demographic. They're looking for surveys to meet certain demographics. Maybe you're a single mother, working a job, or maybe you're, a family, or maybe you're a single person. Those different demographics make important. In fact, some of the surveys ask for my kids to answer the survey if they could. And I don't typically do that, but that's just some of the different things that they will do. Earnings can vary, so just know that. And then some days you earn nothing. But I can typically walk out on most days making at least $1, which don't sound like much, but if you add it up over time, it does make a big deal. So number four, time consuming, small rewards. Typical surveys take 15 to 20 minutes to do. So some will be shorter, some will be longer. Long surveys may pay only a few dollars. Better online income opportunities exist for the same time investment. I agree with that. But if you're just getting started, this makes a great way to kind of build up that investment. And number five, scam risk. They do make fake survey sites, so just know that. But I'll show you some things to spot, and I'm also going to give you some recommendations at the end of this video of the different platforms that I recommend that you could check out. Some collect data without paying and requires careful site selection. So I'll go through those processes, what you need to do to make sure that they're legit and stuff like that. So, all right, number two, the big golden question here. How much money can you realistically make with online surveys? You're not going to make quit your job money with online surveys. You're going to make what I call coffee money. Coffee money because it's typically, $1 to $5 per survey. It's enough to buy a cup of coffee. Monthly range between $50, say $300, depending on your consistency. And it's not a full-time income, but a solid side money job. So best of all, you don't need to sell products, do sales, set up websites, or even talk to people. It's just straightforward, answer questions, and give your feedback on topics. So how much could you legitimately make? Here's a few different survey apps that I'm using right here. As you can see on this one on the very left, $21.30 I've made for the month on that one. On this next one, I made $19.18. And then on this next app right here, which is probably my favorite one right here, one of my favorites, is $20.10 I made there. So I made a pretty good, almost $60 right here just in a month, messing around with a few survey apps. I mean, it's not quit your job money, but an extra $60 in my pocket is great. If I want a little bit of extra spending cash, or I want to save it back for a vacation, or Christmas presents when that time of the year comes, or something like that, I can do that with surveys. Surveys make a great little income opportunity if that's what you're looking for. So important note here, I never treat surveys like a job. I used to use them while I'm watching TV or waiting in line, and that mindset has made it feel like more like free money. If you look at it like, $1 for 15 minutes, that's only $4 an hour, Chris. That's not a lot of money. So I don't look at it that way, because if you look at it that way, you're just going to feel kind of defeated and feel like, these don't really make that much money. The way I look at it is, maybe I just plan on making $1 or $2 a day. And those $2 over 30 days makes $30 to $60, or maybe I make $3 to $4 a day and I'm making $100 a month at this. An extra $100 a month, I don't think anybody would object if I had to take a few surveys and make an extra $100 a month. So definitely an option there. So What are the best times and strategies to maximize earnings with this? Number one, you want to complete your profile fully and completely. You want to, and doing that will help you get basically the algorithm that they have in their system will help figure out what kind of surveys will best fit your situation. And by doing that and completing that profile, honestly, it will help you do that. So next, be honest with your answers. Don't lie. Don't say that you were doing things that you weren't doing. So for example, it says, hey, did you go to the Target ever in your life? And you say, no, yes, I've been to Target, but you've never been there. That's not a good thing. You want to say honestly what you have did. Because like, for example, I got a question the other day that asked me, have you been to any of these stores in the last 24 hours? And the only one on the entire list, I think, was McDonald's or something like that. And yes, I was at McDonald's in the last 24 hours, but none of the rest were. Now, I could have easily said Walmart and Target and, Sam's Club and all these other stores, but I really wasn't there. So I was trying to be honest with them, because if I'm not honest, well, they're going to figure that out. And then they're going to be like, well, this guy doesn't give honest feedback when he's doing surveys, so we're not going to give him good surveys, or we're not going to send him surveys. So you want to be honest up front. So number 3 here, enable email notifications or notifications on your phone. I do these through apps on my phone, so I don't have to do them on my computer or anything like that, so I can literally do them anywhere. But when you get the notifications set up, those notifications will send the actual text to you, letting you know that these apps are got a new survey available to you. Now, number 4, focus on higher paying surveys. I usually typically focus on $1 or higher. I don't focus on the ones that are less than $1 unless they're like really short surveys. But typically I want $1 or higher, because if I'm going to put in 15 minutes of time, it's definitely worth $1 to me. So, all right. Next, use multiple platforms. I use about 3 to 5 different platforms on a regular basis. This helps maximize my earnings, because I can find the best ones, the best surveys on each one, and just work through. So I'll start with my favorite one and work to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And then when I get done with that, and then I've basically gone through all my apps, and it's, I've made enough money, and I could sit there for easily a few hours and then crank out, 10 or so surveys and make, 10 or 15 bucks if I want. So it's not real hard, but it's just using multiple platforms will help make more money for you. And then also do it in your free time. When you're sitting there, don't try to make this like, I'm going to spend 5 to 10 hours a day. Just do it in your free time. When you're instead of doing that endless scrolling on TikTok, you could be sitting there doing this and actually making money. And that's a bigger deal. And that's important, because, a little bit more money is better in your pocket and your family's pocket than if you're sitting there and you're just trying to, scroll through TikTok, watching these, just a bunch of videos that mean nothing to you. And then finally, start small. Just start by earning $1 a day. $1 a day. That's it. That's $30 a month. And then maybe you get 2 or 3 survey apps going, and maybe you're making $1 from each one of those, and all of a sudden you're making $100 a month. So, that will help grow your income and help build out your savings on this, and so you can invest in more things, more side hustles and stuff like that. So, all right, number 4, legit survey platforms versus scams. So this is an important section in here. I want to talk about some very important things that you need to know while you're getting started with this, because I don't want you to get stuck in a scam or anything like that. So number 1, never pay to join a survey app. You should never have to join. All the ones I join are completely free and sign up. In fact, some of the ones I'll show you here in a little bit will actually pay you a bonus just for signing up. So number 2, avoid promises of the $100 per hour promise or something like that. Some of these are going to try to promise, oh, you can make hundreds of dollars an hour with our survey and you're going to make all this money. And the reality is that is not legit. There's nobody paying that. If that was true, everybody would be doing it. So number 3 here, look for PayPal and gift card payouts. I personally like PayPal as my payout method, so that's really the option I look for when I'm getting involved with a survey app. That's one of the first things I look for, is like, do they accept PayPal, or are they just paying you with like Amazon or Walmart gift cards, or some of them will actually do bank where you can send the payment straight to your bank account. I personally don't like that as much because I just don't like to link a bunch of things to my bank account. I just think I just don't like that idea. I like that little bit of a buffer, so I like PayPal between that, and then I can just send the payment from PayPal to my bank account. So now I just got one place going to my bank account and not multiple. Also, when you're signing up for platforms, check the reviews. If you're not sure if this is a legit platform, just check the reviews online. Just type in the name of the survey app plus review, and a bunch of reviews will come up on Google, and you can see how good they really are, if they're good or if they're not. And if everybody's saying this is a scam, then you know to stay away from it. So, all right, never give out your financial info. This is probably one of the most important things that you should know when it comes to doing these surveys. If somebody's asking you for your social security number doing a survey, I would stay away from it. I don't like to give out financial information like social security numbers, bank account numbers, stuff like that. And it's also why I use PayPal as well. So I just sign up with PayPal, and PayPal kind of has that, again, that buffer zone. So you don't have to worry about, people stealing money from your actual bank account or your checking account from your local bank or wherever you bank at. So just know that these are the things that I do. Make sure that you do not give this stuff away as well. So, all right, number 5, who online surveys are best and not best for. So we're going to talk about who they are the best fit for. So maybe you're kind of wondering yet if this is for you. So number 1, beginners, people who have not started a side hustle before and just looking to earn their first income. This is a great place for a beginner to start. Number 2, students. If you're a college student in college and you don't have time to work a job because you're studying all the time, but then you have a little bit of free time, where you got to kind of decompress and, because you can't do homework and study all the time. That's going to be tough on you. But, these can be a great way to kind of break things up and earn some extra income. So when you want to go out and get a cup of coffee or hang out with some friends, this is a great option right here. So, number 3, stay-at-home parents. If you're a stay-at-home mom or dad, somebody like that, who just looking to earn a little extra income but can't get out of the house, this is a great place to get started. Anyone needing quick extra cash, this is good. I'm not going to say it's really quick, but once you earn the income and you meet the threshold, you can literally get the money to your PayPal account immediately. So that's great. So. Who is it not ideal for? People looking for a full-time income. So if you're somebody who's looking for a full-time income, this is definitely not going to be that for you. You're not going to make enough to do that. So like I said, $50 to $300 a month. I mean, that's just not enough to make a full-time income. Anyone who hates repetitive tasks, if you're somebody who doesn't like answering repeat multiple questions, like for example, some of the questions I get a lot of times on these surveys are, what is your age? How many people live in your house? How much do you earn roughly? And things like that. Those kinds of questions are going to be typically the same questions over and over and over again when you start and do every single survey. So just know that. Number 3, people who don't want to give out personal information. If you're somebody who doesn't like to give out personal information, say, how many people live in your house? How many children do you have under the age of 18? These are questions that they're going to ask you on these surveys because they want to know more about you as you're getting within those surveys, and then they can send you the correct survey that matches you as the survey taker. So if this doesn't appeal to you in that nature, then this probably won't be a good fit for you. All right, so how do you use survey income as a stepping stone? I wanted to include this quick because I feel like surveys aren't going to be the end-all, be-all side hustle that everyone's going to do. It's just going to be a good stepping stone, especially in the beginning, if you're trying to earn some money to maybe do something bigger. So you can use the earnings to fund bigger side hustles. So for example, maybe you want to get into doing a drop shipping side hustle, but you just don't have the money to get into it. This could be a great way to build up that income on the side while you're getting started, and then you can use it to fund the building your website, getting things out. So maybe you want to pay for tools, domains, courses, and stuff like that as well while you're getting started. This can be a great stepping stone to that. It also helps build momentum. So when you're getting started, maybe you don't have a lot of cash. Again, that momentum can help build this up for you. So here's a couple of quick questions now. I want to run through some beginner questions I hear a lot when people are getting started. So for example, just getting started, how can I get started with taking surveys? Simply sign up and start taking paid surveys. After completing the registration and doing telling them about yourself, you can immediately begin with available surveys that they have. And I would just start taking them and just learning as you go. So you find out, well, I like these kinds of surveys, or I like these kinds of surveys, or I like this app. Just get started and it will start going through. How and when can I cash out my earnings? You can cash out your balance at any time via PayPal, bank transfer, or by choosing from hundreds of different credit. Withdrawals are instant most times, and once you hit the threshold amount required to withdraw. So some apps will require a threshold that you have to hit, like for example, the one app is $5. Another app that I just showed you when I was showing earlier, it was $20. So you had to make $20 before you can even cash it out. Those are a little bit harder to hit right away if you want the money quickly. What I do is I just do surveys all month, and I just withdraw them all once a month. I don't do them every week or anything like that. I just do them once a month. So, are there any fees to or charges to join? No, joining is completely free. There are no hidden fees or charges, and if there is, don't join. I will say this again, don't join. If they're going to charge you a fee to join, don't do that. It's not legit then. How long does it take to complete a survey? And the length of each survey varies, but typically it takes between 5 to 15 minutes to complete a survey. You'll see the estimated time before you start each survey. So it looks something like this. You'll see, like for example, this top survey here is $1.50 it pays, but it takes 15 minutes to get done. This next survey is $2 and it takes 20 minutes. The survey below that is $1 and it pays 12 and it takes 12 minutes. And the next one is 10 minutes for $1. So that's what you could typically expect. And I'll be sharing again some of these different apps as we get to the end of the video here. Can I take surveys on any device? Yes, you can take surveys on any device with internet access, including smartphones, tablets, computers, any of those. You can do them on. I do them pretty much on my smartphone because it's quick, it's easy, it's always right at my hand. If I'm sitting there and I don't got nothing to do, I can take a survey. Are my personal details and responses kept confidential? Yes, all personal details and survey responses should be kept confidential and are used solely for research purposes. They're not taking this information and putting it out on the internet or anything like that. So if you use, and you should, like I said, do your due diligence, make sure you look at the apps, make sure they're legit. And if you look at the apps that I'm going to show you, these are all the legit ones I'll be sharing here in just a little bit. So what are my top 3 online survey platforms? Number 1 is Top Surveys, Surveys on the Go, and Eureka Surveys. So I'm going to jump in real quick here, just share a little bit about each of these platforms. So real quick here, Top Surveys, this is a really good one. They've got a lot of various different surveys that they offer. They have good high-paying ones. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But they do accept PayPal, which is one of the things I do like. They do gift cards, Apple gift cards. You can get a Visa prepaid card. I prefer PayPal. That's just my thing. You can do however you want. So that one right there is a good option. And then Eureka Surveys, again, that's a good option as well. The quickest way to earn $5. You sign up, and you get $1. You can get $1 right off the bat. So instant cash outs, pretty good there. Some pretty good reviews with this one as well. When I was researching this particular one, I've made some good money with this one. Make $5 every couple of days. This really helps pay for my gas. Great. That's awesome. I love seeing how people use this money because it's just, you can just hop on and take surveys and make a little bit of money. It's a great side hustle. So cash out again, PayPal, Visa, bank transfer, Amazon, Walmart, Target. So a lot of options here. This is probably my second favorite app out of all of them because it just has a lot of options for it, and the reviews are good and payouts are good. So, but my favorite app is this one. This is my number 1 favorite, and it's Surveys on the Go. And I will say honestly, because these guys pay out, their surveys are a minimum of $1. No less than $1. They don't have 10-cent surveys like the other two apps will have some stuff like that. They also have this really nice data, fair trade data deal. So if you let them get your data off your phone, basically your browsing data from, browsing the internet, they will pay you every single month for your browsing data as well on top of that. So they have some really good options here. They pay instantly. There's no thresholds on their particular platform, which is one of the things I love. So if I want to cash out at any point in time, I can cash out all the money at any point in time. So yes, this is probably the one. So I have links to all of these in the video below. So if you are interested in any of these platforms, I have links to this below, plus a link to an article on my website that goes through everything about online surveys as well. You can check that as well. So if you are interested in getting to online surveys, great, check it out, download the apps, and I will see you in the next video.